Okay, so something that was brought to my attention was within my first two videos, I was quite vague around, I feel as though details about who I am and what I stand for. And I kind of wanted to bring more clarification to who I am, who I am, what I do, and I guess why I'm here or why I believe I'm here. So, my name is Karma, as I said, also known as McKenna. I currently work in adult retail. I will be 23 in April. I live in Oklahoma. Uh, that one was hard for me. Okay. I am an artist and a writer. I study linguistics and political theory. And I feel as though my purpose pertains to connecting and building bridges on a creative and innovative level on a global standpoint. So, being a bridge and a connector globally within the regions of world innovation and creativity, if that makes any sense. It's still a lot to process for me, too. Um, the fact that that's what goes on in my brain when I think of my purpose. It sounds really big, looks small on paper, sounds really big in your mind. I don't know, you know. um, I'm currently the two languages. I'm currently studying Spanish, which I have studied many times, but I'm coming back to it, and now I'm finally reaching a sense of fluency, even in my mistakes. And I'm also studying a specific indigenous language, um, as well, as I am constantly immersing myself in multicultural languages every single day and week of my life through different types of media. And right now, I'm also studying political theory, as I said. Um, I'm currently reading The Social Contract, and I have been watching and partaking in Noam Chomsky's studies. The documentary that I just watched was called Manufacturing Consent, Noam Chomsky in the Media. And yeah, that's me. I am a creative and a academic thinker, studying independently and creating independently, hoping to come to, that higher purpose. I hope that leaves less vagueness and like kind of gives a better idea of who I am. Hello, hello. My name is Karma, also known as McKenna. It is currently Sunday, March 22nd. This is my third video that I have made. Um, I usually make Sundays. It's a little windy outside. I don't know how well this is going to work. Let's come down here and see if that helps a little bit. Okay, there we go. I usually make Sundays like my conclusion, reflection, and reset days. Like, I go for a swim at the gym, and then I will come home and take a shower and eat, and then reset my schedule for the week and my routine, see what needs to be changed. And then I do a little journal reflection where I just kind of like reflect on how I felt this week, what went down, what was the theme of this week, because I feel like a lot of my weeks tend to naturally be themed. Like there usually is something that centers that whole week, almost like something to be thought about or to be reflected on. Maybe not every single day because that can become too much, but at the end of the week, journal a little bit about my experience in the week, because regardless if it's big or small, every day is an experience. There's always something going on. Um, so I don't know if it was like a week or 2 weeks back, but I am currently in like my old neighborhood area that I used to live in. I lived in this art district up in OKC. Um, I'm in it right now. I came up here. I feel like it was about 3 weeks ago, honestly, and I think I just came up here to go to a specific shop or something to grab something. I don't remember. And I saw this apartment across the way where I parked, and I was so tired that day. I came to these exact steps and I laid my body. I like just thrusted my body. I don't care who sees me. And I went like this and I started falling asleep as I was laying here. And then I woke back up and I was like, "Oh." And I looked at the time and then I left. So I decided I knew that I was going to do the video outside today, but I decided that I was going to come back to these steps because I was already close. So yeah. Um, Concluding my week, or reflecting back on my week, there was moments where I felt like I was going to cry. I'm a crier, but I did not. I There was also moments where I was very, very angry, and that's not usual for me. Like, so angry, I was getting gas the other morning. I was beating up the gas thing because it wasn't working for me. So, um, I was very, very honest with myself in the idea that since I'm on this journey, this this journey of solitude and learning myself actually, and sitting with myself actually, for this is like the 100th try for me, and it's actually working this time. So the 100th monk mode, whatever you want to call it, whatever the internet calls it, um, is since this has happened, I realize that I have no reason to be a people pleaser anymore. I have no reason to like people that I just never actually liked, or I have no reason to not be honest with my feelings and how I feel, or my opinions, regardless of if they're not ideal to anybody else, because there's nobody else around. It's like it was very, very healing to realize like I could just be honest with how I feel about absolutely anything. And hopefully this trains me to be stronger about being more honest around people when I decide to, socialize and connect again, which I feel like won't be too long from now. I have to be very, very, selective and meticulous. That's the truth. But I feel like it's made me a lot stronger in my beliefs in myself, my character, and how I feel about things, and to feel more comfortable with with just not having the same opinion as everyone else, or not making people feel good about themselves constantly, because that's not my job. It's not my job, and I feel like I naturally went into that empathetic, nurturing role in many areas of my life for even random strangers, which is kind of problematic. So, um, another thing is that I feel like this another week centered around love. My whole life is always centered around love in like every aspect. But I was at the Chinese restaurant, and I came in. I was like, I came into the gym. I was there for 10 minutes. I was like, man, I forgot to eat. Nope, I'm leaving. I'm gonna go get something to eat, because if I don't eat, I'm going to stress my body out, and it's gonna have the effect. It's gonna have the reverse effect of what I'm trying to do here. So I went to the Chinese restaurant and I ordered beef and broccoli, rice, and some egg drop soup. And I was just watching cars pass by. I was watching the people come into the store, all these crazy characters of life. And I opened my fortune cookie and it says, "Love conquers all obstacles." I was like, word, period. And if you were seeing life within my eyes, you would see how deeply significant it was to open that and for it to say that. But um, I guess, you know, I was having a shower talk, a little good shower talk about, um, I was just like, has anybody, I don't know if any human being has ever really loved me in my life, or if they've only sympathized with me or admired me. But I weaved out what has always been deeply devoted to me as I have been to it, and it's nature, it's art, it's creativity, it's connection on its purest form, even with other humans and stuff. I feel as though whenever I think of what has actually loved me, I'm not sure if it's humans, but it's something bigger than I understand. It's like that divine universal feeling of love, which can be very complicated when, as humans, all we want to do is connect because it's our innate way of being. We are social creatures. Um, and it can feel a little bit alienating sometimes, but it's what I've known. It's what I've known for the last 22, 23 years of my life. And when it comes to love and devotion and respect, I feel like it's been the universe, it's been nature here on earth, it's been things that are pure and good, from animals to kids and stuff. I know that sounds crazy, but that's what I don't think that sounds crazy. I don't know why I said that. It's not crazy. I feel like that's pretty normal. But those are the things that have loved and respected me the most in this life. Now, other human beings on my age level, or family members, or lovers, or friends, I'm not sure if I've ever been genuinely loved by those people. Am I it's never going to happen nihilistic person? No, but I will say that even if it doesn't happen, if love doesn't come through in those ways, I will do everything in my power to make sure that love and devotion is felt within every area of my life for myself, regardless. Um, I'm not going to sit and wait around for other humans to understand me, or, I don't know, be around me, care for me, because there's something greater than my understanding that I have always felt since I was a kid that cared for me. And I'm not going to, that is, I mean, you call it God, you call it consciousness, you call it the gods, I don't know. There's that, I have felt that my whole life. It's a deeply devoted love, even when it's ugly and nasty. It's love. You can tell by the way it moves that it's love. Music, the wind, this wind is so amazing right now. It feels like love. That feels like love. um i I'm very happy that I was really honest with myself this week about my routine. I've been building routine. I've been trying to, or I've been working on building a study routine for my studies, where it is something that now, like how I go to the gym, I can just get up and go to the gym. Immediately my mind is breakfast gym. It's easy. There's no friction there. Even if I don't give it 100% in the gym that day, I'm still there. I'm still there. Um, and I love being there. It really makes me a very happy go lucky person. I think that if I would have never gone to the gym, I would have been even shittier. So I love being there, but I'm trying to do the same with my study routine where I build a study routine around my studies like linguistics, language, other things that I am studying that maybe I'll mention later, um, and making sure that I can build a routine where I get it embedded into my system, where I just start to fall in love with it like I've fallen in love with these other areas and aspects of my life. And that's really what routine does. It creates repetition, but that repetition and routine, I feel like, creates like dedication, and that dedication creates like a love for what you're doing and having fun, even if it's repetitive. And sometimes it's the repetition creates new pathways, like where that repetition you do that, and then now there's a new door, there's somewhere else to go. So this is we're coming upon what, the fourth week of March. So I'm really working towards building a set routine that is good for me, and does not stress me out, because if it's stressing you out, you're not really learning. I don't care. Of course there's going to be moments where you got to stop and you're like, "Ooh, I'm having a little bit of trouble with this." But I don't think that it's meant to be stressful. I think it's meant to be a challenge, and challenge should feel fun. All I know is that every time a challenge comes upon me, it's more fun than it is stressful now. So, I mean, I used to be a very chronically overwhelmed and anxious person, and within a span of 2 months, 3 months being in the gym and changing even that part of my life, I have really, really come to a calmer place. So, and I feel as though when it comes to learning, which is what my study routine is for, you're supposed to have fun learning, even when it's challenging. So, that is something that this Sunday I've been thinking about as I just finished up my swim and I came down here. Um, Also, this piercing has been giving me trouble, but I'm not giving up on it because I really like it and I want to heal it. So, um, hmm. I saw my old neighbor at the gym the other day, and she was like, "You look way happier, way happier." I guess I looked a lot more miserable to people than I realized, you know. And I have an uncomfortability with being pitied and sympathized with, because it wasn't my intention to be sympathized and pitied. I In those moments where I was going through such a hard time living in that nasty place and all this and that, I didn't want to be sympathized with. I wanted to feel loved. I wanted to feel loved by other people who walk like me, talk like me, bleed like me. And it just never met the mark. There's somebody coming. But I don't know. I feel like I have appreciation for us as humans. I still find it hard to fully trust anybody because, with my experience in life, everybody, down to moms and the pops, has. And I know you're not supposed to talk about the past, you're dwelling. No, that's what people say. They say when you bring up the matters of the facts from the past, you're dwelling. I'm not in a state of dwelling. I'm in a state of coming to a point and asking, where do I go from here when it comes to being able to connect Because from what I have said in these videos so far, with my erotic existence and so much that I feel and notice, from the good, bad, the ugly, whatever, it's all stems around connection, seeing those little details all the time in reality. So I guess my reset for next week is to build dedication and devotion to my learning, to give back to myself stillness and peace in meditation, and to find windows where I let my mind rest, and to find many windows to let my creativity flow naturally, and to trust that it absolutely is the key to my success, to my transformation, to my divinity, to my sexiness, I don't know, to everything. It's my key to everything. My mind, my heart, my body, my soul. It's the key to create, to be a co-creator of this reality, or an architect, or an artist, or all of that, stuff, all that stuff. And I'm excited. I'm working on getting out of being nervous. Maybe that's another thing next week, or second guessing or self doubting next week. I will try to, put a boundary on that. Sometimes you have to make boundaries with yourself. I'm gonna make a boundary with myself not to doubt the process, and to trust the process. In this, I've gained trust in other processes. It's time to gain trust in this process. So I think that that's all that I have for today. Hi, I'm Karma, and this is me today, but it might not be me tomorrow. So see you. So now that I'm looking at it, when I say global innovation, what does that mean? That's the big question that I ask myself when I look at myself and think, oh, your purpose is set in being some type of leader, some type of global creative and innovator. Is that in itself also vague? What does that mean to me? What does that mean to me? Because the truth is, there's multiple people that already exist today that are bridges between the globe, the entire world, bridges and innovators and great forward thinking people. But for me, what does that mean for me? What is the specified thing? Putting all of the political theory and linguistics and languages and art and sound and words. I guess we'll have to find out. That is the answer.